Guys, I gotta show you something. This video exposes those people trying to push you to vote for the Democratic Party. Black support is vanishing from the Democratic Party, but I'm gonna explain to you why this should not be a surprise. And for those critics out there who say, why is this happening? The one-word answer, economics. FDR said this: the test of our progress is not whether we add more to the abundance of those who have much, it's whether we provide enough for those who have too little. Martin Luther King Jr. said this: if a free society cannot help the many who are poor, it cannot save the few who are rich. And finally, Nelson Mandela said this: poverty is not natural. It is man-made and can be overcome and eradicated by the actions of human beings. What Black people are trying to do is overcome the situation that leaves them without having wealth. Black Americans recognize that without wealth, we are nowhere. And that's why channels that focus on the growth of wealth, building wealth, get so big so quick. And that's why topics like reparations work, because more than cop shootings, more than celebrity news, more than everything else combined, Black people are interested in wealth, building wealth, having wealth, maintaining wealth, growing wealth, and getting out of poverty. So people that keep telling you that you gotta vote for Joe Biden, they just don't get it. Joe Biden is the liability. No, he's not a liability to the system. He's a liability to us, to Black Americans. He's perfect for the system. They love the guy. I've got 3 graphs that I want to share with you. They're gonna explain this, gonna show it in a picture. It's not gonna be hard to get. Putting out a video like this brings out a couple different people. One of them are the people that support what we're saying, and on the other hand, we have the walkers, the zombies, the infected.
Here they come! Here they come!
These are the people that keep telling us we need to continue to support the Democratic Party, even if the Democratic Party is not sufficiently supporting us. Make it make sense. Well, the Democratic shields and the Democratic operatives are gonna run out like they got suicide vests on and try to sacrifice themselves to defend Joe Biden. Wait! Joe Biden ain't worth it. They're running around telling you how great Joe Biden is. They're running around saying, oh, Joe Biden, oh, he did so much. All praise Joe Biden. Oh, no, Joe, Jim Crow, Joe, I know Joe, and Joe know us. They running around like fools, touting how amazing Joe Biden's been. Joe Biden is a sinking ship, and it's not because of harsh critics. It's because people are not falling for the okie doke this time. Sorry. Oh, but Tim Black, he did so much for the unions. He did this much for the unions. This much. He could have did this much. He did this much. And you want me to kiss his ass? Sorry, can't do it, won't do it. Sorry, not enough. Let me tell you something very clear, very, very sharp, so people get this. This is median Black wealth. Median family wealth. Median. Do you see the white line? That's how white people are doing. Do you see the black line? That's us. Beneath the Latinos. You see how that's the wealth of the white wealth has gone up? It's worse now than it was in 1995. Do you see this? Good. Let's be very, very, very clear. Until Black people's median wealth is closer to white people's median wealth, I'm gonna need you to take that bass out your voice and calm down with the yelling about us voting for Democrats. That's right. Until Black wealth is up there with white wealth, any Black person that vote for you is making a mistake. Until our situation is addressed, until our situation is prioritized, You chastising black folks for a black vote for a Joe Biden is ludicrous. Next graph. Because you say, Tim Black, maybe things have changed. That cut off in 2016. Well, here goes another graph. This chart shows it aggregated up till 2020. And what do we have? More of the same. More of the same. Oh, I'm not done. Next graph. The Federal Reserve wrote that based on 2019 surveys of consumer finances, the most recent year available, white families had a median wealth of $188,200 compared to $24,000 for black families and $36,100 for Hispanic families. That means, according to the Fed, a white family has 8 times the wealth of a black family and 5 times the wealth of an Hispanic family. Are we crystal clear here? Are we understanding each other here? So my pushback about the Democratic Party ain't got nothing to do with the fact that I don't like Joe Biden, or it's nothing to do with the fact about how I personally feel about Kamala Harris. And I'm not saying that you got to go vote for Trump. What I'm saying is we need to collectively bombard the Democratic Party to change its policies. We have to punish them and make them change their policies. And I want to point out this in that graph. The Fed didn't start tracking this until 1989. But I'm sure if we went all the way back to 1619, it would look the same. The people in my Twitter comments, the people in my Facebook comments who are defending the Democratic Party, they want to make this about a personal attack, like I had an axe to grind, like this is all for viewership. This is reality, folks. The numbers aren't lying. They won't refute my numbers. They'll start bringing up other things that don't have anything to do with the numbers I presented in graph 1, graph 2, or graph 3. That should be the end of the conversation. That should be case closed, face closed. Is Joe Biden making a commitment to change this? Is Joe Biden part of the solution or part of the problem? I say if Joe Biden is not addressing this problem, he's part of the problem. I mean, I could see if they start seeing the line get closer. Pretty guy, get higher, get higher. The white line's up here. But we got black people who are so afraid, they gonna vote for him when the line is flatlined. Don't tell me how the Hispanics are right there with us. Let me tell you something. Let's be clear here, guys. The Hispanic line, those people didn't build America for free. Against their will. Nope, they were living somewhere else. Their ancestors' bones aren't in this earth. But Tim, my cousin's the Swahili, or my cousin's from Guatemala, or my cousin had it back. That ain't got nothing to do with what I'm talking about. I feel your pain, brother. I do. But that ain't got a damn thing to do with what I'm talking about. What I'm telling you is, we built this country. You see that line? We've been here the whole time, the entire time that the white line was doing this, we was here. Look at us. Look at us. If this graph went back to 18, 17, 16, 19, we would still be on that line. You understand? If there was a graph that showed median wealth from 16 something, 16, 19, black people would be there. There wouldn't be a white line. There wouldn't be a Latino or Hispanic line because y'all weren't here. Well, we had a couple that came in 1892. I hear you. I hear you. And you had a country you could have stayed at. I'm not knocking you for what you do. What I'm saying is don't devalue our conversation. Don't devalue our claims by throwing in Hispanic people trying to take away from what I'm trying to say. Because you understand it's a different thing. You get it. If you work at a company for 30 years and somebody got there 5 years ago talking about, man, the way they treat us around here is bad, we need to get a raise. If you ain't got a raise since you've been there, how would you feel? Let's think. See, what they got this reverse psychology now where they try to make black people seem like we racist, like we run America, like we holding Latinos back, we holding Hispanics back. Then we got white people going, reverse racism. Man, ain't no reverse racism. You just mad because a few black people recognize that we deserve our shit and we gonna fight for it and we gonna demand it. Until Joe Biden fix that, and I don't want to hear, well, Joe can't do it, he can't do it alone. He need to act like he can. Because you know what? Trump was acting like he could do some stuff alone. Some of it got overturned, but he did act like he could do it. He showed his base, I'm going to try to do it. I'm trying to do something. Biden, I don't get the same activity. Keeping it real now, guys. Very honest here. So all that complaining. And the last thing on Joe Biden before I go to Kamala, let's say. Anybody that's concerned about Joe Biden being 80 years old, that's a concern to have. That's a concern to have. Yeah, that's not a smear. It's a year. My mom is about to turn 80. That's not a smear. That's how old she is. I wanted to live to be 102. Shit, 105 if possible. I love my mom. My mom don't run the country. My mom can walk some stairs. Let's be real clear here, guys. These Democratic operatives are some shameless promoting of nonsense bastards. These are some diehard, ever ready battery in the backpack fools for the Democratic Party. They want to smear people for saying Joe Biden's too old to run. It's not just that he's old, it's that he looks old, and he sounds old, and he moves old, and he thinks old. That's a lot for people to see. What, they're not supposed to see what they see? If Joe Biden came out in a pair of Speedos, you'd be like, Joe Biden got on Speedos. Riding a tricycle, Joe Biden got on a pair of Speedos, riding a tricycle. Smoking a blunt. Listen to Bob Marley. We saw it, we see it, we say it. We say it because we saw it and we see it. That's the same thing we're seeing now when we see Joe Biden walk out. Can't keep a thought in his head for more than 2 minutes. Can't stay on subject or topic. Can't walk a straight line. Forgets where he's going. Then makes a joke about it. All these things are things we witness. It's not things we make happen. It's not because we ride in the Republican bandwagon. It's because it is what it is, Johnson. If you want to give your vote to Joe Biden, you can. I'm not saying you can't. What I'm saying, I'm tired of hearing you tell us we are Republicans, we are sellouts, or whatever, because we don't like what we see out of Joe Biden. We have a right not to like what we see in Joe Biden. And if you want to fix that, if you don't want nobody to talk about him, fix him. If you can't fix him, replace him. But that's your guy, and we don't like him. We never did.
You're watching the Black Digital Television Network. Become a subscriber for the best in Black thought on the internet. We keep it 100 just for you. And remember, it's a new day.
Until Black people's median wealth is closer to white people's median wealth, I'm gonna need you to take that bass out your voice.
Accept no imitations.